It's scary to take the leap and to commit to something where you're going to earn as less. It gives you less freedom of choice on the short term, but the long term it can give you more.
Present moment. You can't enjoy present moment because you're always thinking about what you need to do. But you don't need to do anything. You just need to be here.
Taking time off allows you to have more of a free mind to think about things that you actually want to do.
If I'm not going to change anything, this is how I'm going to live for the next 30, 40 years, and I'm going to retire like 60 by being this. Why am I doing this? And we're in. I'm going to start with a question, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So I know that you quite recently went to Greece
Can you
to
tell by the tan?
relax, eat some good food, enjoy the sun, and all of that stuff. But I guess you mentioned as well that you did some work on a podcast, and you did obviously work on Dosmos as well while you
Some bits.
there. How are you balancing work and holiday and time off when you're away?
I always feel guilty taking time off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it's important, but I don't know. I don't like the build up to going to holiday. Like I just don't like it in my calendar.
Why?
Don't know. I feel like I just kind of forgot how to take it, because you're always just thinking about what you should be doing, what you could be doing. It's never a good time to go. There's always stuff to do. But I know the importance of like rest and recovery and just having some actual time off. But I mean, there's always stuff. I mean, when you're self-employed, you know, it's not as easy as like putting your, you know, away emails on and just coming back in a week or whatever it is. It's every day.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got staff like and their needs and their messages and everything else. Like it's every day. Like there is no time off, and I accept that. And like there are moments of where you can just chill. Like there was times where I was like swimming in the sea and just, you know, I don't have my phone and I'm just there and I'm enjoying it. But it's in the back of your mind.
Always.
Yeah. So you just got to find ways to distract yourself and just calm and be at peace and relax and take some breaths and do things that you enjoy. And because I think it's reduces the risk of illness, you know, for your head as well as your physical. And it's nice because it takes you away from the gym or like, you know, day-to-day stuff. Like it's just, and when you're in the city, you just fucking systems go all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like just
I need to do more. I need to do more. And
you're on the tube and you're you know, going to work and you're like, fucking need caffeine. I'm gonna fucking need to write my emails now. Like,
check my there's no fucking signal.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the mentality that you're in the whole time.
Oh mate,
Going to war,
I relate to that so fucking much.
Like there's times where I just, you know, the end speech of 300.
No, I don't.
Do you not know it? Where he's like fucking at the end of 300, he talks about like what Leonidas said to him, and he's like, remember us. You know, for what they stood up for, the Spartans standing up for a free Greek, and he's like, you know, to victory, like it's like going to war kind of thing. It's like that's kind of, I listen to that end speech all the time. I just go on YouTube, put it in my headphones, and I'm just like dialed in,
getting in the zone.
Fucking, yeah, but then, you know, so it's important to come away from that and just, you know, chill, not be in a morning routine or having to get up or look at your phone, check your emails, reply to stuff. It's not actually that. I'll deal with it next week when I get back. People are always quite understanding, I think, when you're like, oh, I'm going away. They're like, cool, we'll deal with this next when you're back, or kind of thing. But I'm always like, want to get stuff done now. But the way I find balance is just turning everything off.
Turning everything off, yeah. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I remember I went back to Lithuania for like holiday-ish in July. And for the first so I went there for like 7 days, but for the first 4 or 5 days, I just couldn't turn off. Just checking my phone, if everything is alright. It's just like, it was so hard. And then I was like, why am I doing this? Like, it's so depressive in a way that you just can't be. I get that's where it comes when we were talking about the present moment. You just can't enjoy present moment because you're always thinking about what you need to do, but you don't need to do anything. Like you just need to be here.
It's so true. Like I was actually looking at the times that we actually have off in comparison to the US.
Yeah, UK is one of the most.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
So obviously we get weekends and bank holidays. In the UK, most workers are legally entitled to 5.6 weeks paid annual leave per year, or statutory leave entitlement. This includes bank holidays, applies to all workers, agency workers. So you get 28 days annual leave a year. The US, workers are not even legally entitled to paid holiday at all. However, in reality, most US workers are given paid vacations. The number of days vary. The US averages from 10 days paid holiday a year.
2 weeks.
Not even. The average retirement age in the UK is just under 65 years old. However, there's no mandatory retirement age. People can continue working as long as they want. That's just a bit more about like pensions and, you know, when you think about time off. Okay, paid time off, like 28 days in the UK. Do you think that's enough? It's definitely not enough for the US. 5.6 weeks of your entire year.
It's an interesting topic, I guess, by itself, because if you do what you like, I think 28 days is more than enough.
I think if we were more productive, we could get more time off.
Yeah.
But I feel like when people are at work, they're not as productive.
Well, that's why they kind of want to introduce the 4-day week, right?
Do you think that would make people more productive? Because let's say
I was speaking to Joey today, actually, about work in general, and we agreed that majority of the jobs can be done in probably 2-3 days, as in.
Hey guys, thank you so much for making it this far into the podcast. If you have any feedback, then please let us know, as we always want to make this podcast better. So hearing from you is always a pleasure. Please subscribe to all of our platforms. Get involved at Triangle Theory. If you've got any comments or if you want to share any topics that you think that me and Conrad would like to talk about, then please get involved. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Like, you know, have you ever worked in an office?
Yeah, once in an office setting. Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, but like.
People do fuck all.
Yeah, exactly. Like
getting a couple of bits, types,
a couple emails, and then it's
coffee at 10. Then they're chatting to their mates about coffee.
Yeah.
Then they're going to some meeting that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense
like,
at all.
There's literally no point of this. But there was some times where I was in a meeting in this office job, and there was twice I said I don't need to be a part of this meeting. I'm going to go. Like we're not achieving anything in this meeting. It's just chatting shit, and I got actual stuff to do. Like, and then it's meetings, then it's back. Oh, it's fucking lunch time. So I'm going to go have an hour for lunch or whatever it is. Come back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 3 o'clock. I better go have another tea. Do you know, I'm going to go home at 4, 5. You know? Like.
No, mate. Like, I remember I was working in this office.
Dead.
And there were times where I do everything by 10 a.m., 10:30, and there's literally nothing to do.
Really? So what do you do?
Watching YouTube, or working on my podcast. Just whatever, man.
I remember.
But then they sat me in a like, at first I was sitting in this corner, so I was like doing everything I can, and I was on a calls as well. So if they call, I answer. I do whatever they ask me to do. And then that's it. I continue doing research. I do like podcast work, updating stuff. And then another job that I worked as well. Again, like just working on a podcast the whole day. We go to these meetings, and we were like, and we asked them, do we really need to be there? And meetings are like hour and 30 minutes. And the only thing I say, well, we didn't actually say anything. Like, we just saying in the background. They don't ask us anything. The whole team needs to be there, but no one asks us a question.
So why are you in there?
Why I'm in there? Like, it's just...
That's so crazy.
It is, and I think majority of the jobs are like that. I'm not talking about, like, I don't know, investment bankers. Probably they work loads because, like, they start at 7, they finish at like
Yeah, it's funny. Like you walk
25.
home through, like, you walk home through like Liverpool Street and Bank, and you see all these deliveries like delivering to offices late at night because they're obviously just staying there, just working
in the office, isn't it?
So I think there are some people that fucking...
No, there are some people that definitely work, but I think majority, if you would cut all the meetings by 70%, okay, let's just get straight to the point. What we need to do. No, what did you do on the weekend? How is your dog? Like none of this.
I think if people were just going to work being productive for like 7 hours, then you'd be able to justify more time off.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because it's spread over a year.
Yeah. I was actually doing, while I was doing research, I looked into some statistics as well. And it actually is a bit crazy because that was to do with when people going on holidays. And I looked into specifically for Brits. So in a survey of 2,000 workers, communications platform Movcan agency found that 54% of employees expect to work while on annual leave due to team members sending them work-related texts and emails. So you know when you like on holiday and like, oh mate, like that client that you spoke with last week, his name was like Tony or whatever. Do you know any updates on them? Like, no, I'm on holiday. Like, why are you messaging me? So like people. Like, I don't mind when people messaging me, but at the same time, like, you have to respect my privacy, and like, I'm here to take time off, not to work. And then there's 26% of workers work on holiday because their manager demands it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Even during the days off, a staggering of 84% of Brits think about work at least twice a day. That's definitely me. I mean,
yeah,
even I will constantly work, like especially when I was working from home now. You just finish work, you do something, and then you check your emails, check that. Like, it's just full time. It's 24/7 basically. So it's really, really hard to.
Do you find that you work more being at home than you do in the office?
100%.
Really?
100%. Way more.
Why is that?
Well, first off, because of the workload. It's a lot to do. And then second is because you're at home. Like, so even when you're having your lunch, you still getting messages. So like, I get messages on the phone and I just reply. So it's not really your lunch, it's just you eating while you're working, innit? So yeah.
Do you ever get time when like working from home, do you think that overall it's easier for people to do less? Like, would you say, because if you're at home, could you sort of get away with not doing as much because you haven't got like a manager there, you're not in the office?
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. And but with the workload that I had and have, is like I have to do this stuff in a day. So I'm just constantly on there.
How do you manage your time off?
I think I became a lot better with it over the course of the years. I mentioned just quite recently that I went to Lithuania and I struggled to turn off. But even when I'm going out, like not out, but away, I try to just turn off my phone. Like, just not looking at it at all.
I try and do 2 holidays a year.
Nice.
One in the beginning of the year and then one like October.
So I'm not really that big on holidays. I'm more of taking productive time off, and by saying productive, I'm doing something that kind of recharges my batteries. So it would be a case of, again, going to sauna, like having a day going to sauna, coming back, have a healthy meal, going for a walk in the park, have a coffee, maybe do some podcast work if I feel
Is
like
that something
it.
you just do on a weekend that you have off?
I usually do that on Sundays. I try to do, but sometimes it's not happening because obviously you got plans and
Yeah, because even if you're going to see friends, family, all the rest of it, like that's also work in itself. That's a different kind of work.
yeah, but like
You know, all of a
kind
sudden
of
you got to
enjoy
go.
it, right? So
Yeah, you got to go see your like parents-in-law or whatever it is, or like go spend time with your niece and nephew, and you're like, this is not the way I want to spend my weekend or time off. Like, fuck this, or going to like a family reunion. It's like, why did I book this in? Fuck. So I think there's definitely ways to spend more meaningful time off.
yeah, meaningful. That's it.
But
Like
I think there's something to be said for having something that's like consecutive, like going to a different destination, exploring something different, going to see a different culture. Like,
yeah, because you get bored of stuff, right? Like if you
yeah, I think if you're in the same environment,
yeah, if every Sunday all you do is just sit on the sofa and watch telly,
yeah,
you're not really resting, right? You just being a vegetable a bit.
yeah.
And to be honest, like sometimes
That's really
I
good.
do like it. Yeah, sometimes I do really like it, but I feel like the best I feel is when I go to camping for like a night or for a weekend, just for a day, really, for a hike.
Yeah,
Just like saunas, meeting friends, just having meaningful conversations. Like coming to London here from Manchester, it's just I really like what meeting yourself, going to jiu-jitsu, me and Joe, like my old good friends, and yeah, I just feel rested afterwards.
how often do you give rest times for yourself in a week?
So I try to prioritize Sundays for
So
myself,
one day a week.
one day a week
That's
at
like,
least.
you're not looking at phone, email, things like that.
Well, that's quite hard because obviously Sundays I do podcast work and sometimes
I was gonna
Thursdays.
say, yeah.
So, but podcast work is like I generally enjoy that.
So it doesn't
I
feel like work to you.
not necessarily like it's like doing the research is not my favorite part. However, I feel like I'm doing something meaningful. So, yeah, I'm just trying to kind of do everything in the morning that I need and then do a bit of podcast work, upload, schedule stuff. And then obviously evening I just spend with my partner. Just go for walks, watch telly, whatever.
Yeah.
Just something easy on Sundays because I know Monday you'll go back to to work.
One day you go back to being an NPC.
Literally, man.
Have you ever lived for the weekends?
Yeah, I used to. I used to live when I just moved to the UK. I used to go out a lot, so we used to go. My mate and we used to go like 2-3 times a week. So Friday, Saturday, obviously, and then one like maybe Sunday sometimes, and then one time during the week as well. So like Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday. Like it depends. Whenever we feel like it. So I remember I used to work in this job as a door supervisor in Jewish schools, like a security guard in it. And I was working there, and I just hated my life, just hated it. And I remember at one point I got up in the morning. I obviously went to the tube. I was standing in Mile End station, waiting for Central Line to come. And I was standing there. I was like, I just can't believe this is my life now. And at that time, it hit me because I thought, if I'm not going to change anything, this is how I'm going to live for the next 30, 40 years. And I'm going to retire like 60 by being this NPC. So at that time, yeah, I was really living for the weekends, like going out all the time, partying. But yeah, that was the stage of my life. What about yourself?
Yeah. There were times where I was like dreading Monday. On Wednesday, everyone would be like halfway there. Friday be a party. Saturday be a night. Sunday be chill. Fuck, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Same again on Monday.
Yeah, the worst thing is when you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't want to go to work. But it's not like, I get that sometimes now, like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it's not that. It was like, I don't want to go. Like, I really, really don't want to go. You feel like the anxiety and the stress almost behind it. Like, I hate that job. I hate it. But you know you have to go because you have bills to pay, and then you just don't know anyone here in this country. And yeah, that was tough, man.
It's hard.
It's really,
hard.
really hard.
And like, even then, like when you're dealing with stuff like that, that's hard. It's equally important to take, because I think taking time off allows you to have more of a free mind to think about things that you actually want to do.
Reflect on stuff, right? So every time when I'm going out, it feels like I'm going out and going away. Sorry, it feels like I'm feeling very down before I go away, because it feels like, oh, I just want to do as much as possible before I leave, and then I can relax. But then you can't really relax because you so stressed about everything that you just did in the past 2 weeks, because you wanted to catch up or even go ahead with stuff. But then I like going away because you sit down. There's nothing to do. You don't even want to do anything when you're away, and then it kind of hits. Everything hits you like, oh, it was just maybe it was a bit too hard on myself. And then you kind of get into center of yourself. So yeah, just reflecting on stuff. I like going away because it is a good time to reflect.
When you took time off traveling to Thailand, I think you always say that was like a really profound part of your experience so far in your life. Do you think everyone needs to experience something like that?
Well, I went to Thailand, but I was working as well, so it wasn't just
Time off.
backpacking all the time. No, it wasn't time off. It was actually a really stressful period of my life because my job was on the line, and I was working really, really hard, but it just wasn't working. Like the work that I was putting in, I wasn't getting any fruits out of it. But despite that, I was living in, I would say, the best country in the world, in terms of like weather and people and food and culture. I was, just enjoying my training, enjoying the food. I made some good friendships, relationships. I experienced the amazing nature of Thailand and landscapes, and it was just so amazing. And as well, like I was somewhere that I've never been. Well, I've been to Thailand twice now, but the second time I went there, it was like I was just by myself all the time. Obviously, I built some relationships there, but it was just like every day is something new. So it was such a profound experience. I really, really enjoyed it. I think traveling is one of the best things that can happen.
It was one of the most important things for me, like growing up. If you think about taking time off and having breaks and exploring life, even like as a kid, like going through the education system and before going to university or even after university, I think it's definitely a time where it's important to take some time out for you for a consecutive period of time.
Yeah.
That allows you to give you more of a choice about things. Because when you're away from home, influences, parents, friends, and you're kind of on your own and making friends, I think it really opens your mind up to
who you are
and who you are, and it gives you more confidence, and I think that is only more of a benefit. But it's just taking a break from life in general.
Yeah.
People need that. Like, even for those that have worked in careers for 10 years and go, fuck it, I just want to go traveling for like 2 years.
Yeah, I met a lot of people that did that.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I met. He was in his mid-30s or early 30s, but I was like, because he's been in Thailand at that time when he's been there for the last like 10 months, 9 months or something.
Yeah.
I was like, so what you do? Like, how do you live it? It's like, I'm just like, I live on my savings. Like, I worked a shit ton of hours when I was in my 20s in like this agency. I made like, I saved up a lot of money, and it's like, I just can't be asked about it anymore. Like, I just want to live here, do Muay Thai, eat food, and live my life. That's it.
And like, there's no conventional way of, like, this is what I don't get. We're all made to feel like we need to be on the wheel, you know, like 28 days a year for the next 40 years to then retire at 65 to then what? Kind of too old to enjoy things and do things.
Well, that's the thing.
Might have a health problem, right? Sorry to cut you.
But
I think more people would take more time off if it wasn't so hard to live in this country. Like if you could take unpaid time off. But
sabbatical becomes
sabbatical's great.
Is a thing now. But then you have to live off your savings, right? So
yeah, you have to work or be somewhere for a considerable amount of time. But even then, it's like I don't think people have the luxury or can afford to go away as much as they would like to, because people are in the wheel of living, having to live, and having to pay to live.
I think that the main thing about it is that people kind of praise that, like, oh, you're such a hard worker. You're like they praise the workaholism. And I'm saying that because I'm probably myself quite a workaholic, and you, like, we work a lot on the stuff. But then at the same time, when people are praising that, it's a lot harder to kind of separate yourself from that and say, look, like, even though you're saying this is an amazing thing that I'm doing all of these things, is not really healthy for me in a way. And I feel that's why it's so hard to take that time off.
Do you think that's what it takes?
What?
To get to where you want to get to by not taking time off?
No.
I think the average of what people work is fuck all. And I actually think
in general, the average, yeah.
And I think if you want to be extraordinary, you just have to go above average.
No, absolutely. But the bar is so low. Like, look,
the bar is low.
1% of podcasters need to release 21 episodes.
But depending on where you want to get to,
yeah, absolutely. Like,
I think you have to work really hard.
Yeah, the higher you get to the mountain, the harder. The higher you get to the mountain, the harder it gets to get to the very tip of it.
Echelon, yeah.
But the average benchmark is very low. So obviously, if you want to become the next Michael Jordan of
you have to work
food,
off, yeah.
Yeah, you're not taking time off at all.
Yeah.
But if you want to become just a guy that does his own thing, enjoys his life, and takes time off from time to time, I don't think it's that hard to achieve, to be honest.
When you look at your life being a success and being where you want it to be, how much time off are you taking a year?
It's not about how much time I'm taking off. It's the freedom of taking the time off. So I want to be in that position where, like, it's Sunday, it's mid of July, 29 degrees outside, we're having a barbecue, we're having a beer, and then you say, should we go to, like, should we just go to this, I don't know, camping trip tomorrow? But it's Monday, like, you have to go to work. But I don't want to be that guy. Like, I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. Like, we can come back on Tuesday and start working from there. So it's just the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like, oh no, I can't work tomorrow. It's just
sorry to cut you there. I think the only way to make the freedom of your own choices is by not working for someone else,
yeah, of course.
because you can't do that. So you have to find something that you're good at,
Yeah,
something that you like doing, and something that you're willing to go all in on. I think when people think about, they immediately gravitate towards like doing it to the extreme and earning the most. It's like, I think really, if you're earning enough money to cover your expenses and live a life, but you're free to make your own decisions and do the things that you want to do, not to the detriment of yourself or others, I think you're killing it.
that's it, man. Like
Killing
it's
Like
yeah.
if you can, push your meetings back and say, actually, I'm going to start work today at 12 instead of 10, or I'm going to spend some more time with my kids this evening, or whatever it might be.
Hey guys, your feedback is very important. And no, this is not an advertisement. Actually, what I'm asking from you is to leave a comment below what you liked and most importantly, what you disliked about this episode, because we can improve on the next episodes and we can make a better content for you to listen. Give us also a topics you'd like to us talking about, and we can prepare, do your research and talk about it on the next episodes. Thank you.
Because I get to make those choices or decisions, people would live a far happier life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel, well, we had a conversation today where I was so like angry in a way of my circumstances, because I was just thinking like, if I was about to continue of what I was doing in the same circumstances where I was working at, I don't have this. Like I would just have to work all the time. Whenever they need me, I have to be there.
Yeah.
And I just, that's it. Like I become this slave to whatever company I sign up for.
It's when you're doing something against your will for the benefit of someone else.
Yeah.
And a salary is the
drug
that they give you. It's like the fucking slip that they give you, where you can't deviate, because everyone's, it's scary to take the leap and to commit to something where you're going to earn as less.
Yeah.
That gives you less freedom of choice on the short term, but the long term it can give you more.
That's it.
Even now, like, I don't earn nearly as much money as my friends do, or people that have stayed in the process do. That's really hard and really depressing.
Because you start comparing yourself to others. And I'm not saying I'm not doing that, because I do. And before I was coming here to London, obviously I got these news about my job, and I'm like what I'm gonna do now? It's just the little self-doubt starts to creep in, and you look at everyone around you and you start kind of feel worthless, and you just, yeah man, it's hard, because it seems like everyone is doing better than you do. But it's not really true, because everyone have their own shit to deal with. It's
tough. And I was talking to this guy that owns a butcher in Spitalfields, Perry the Butcher, shout out. And it's like when you start a small business, they say, oh, yeah, it'd be really good because you'll work for yourself and you can pick and choose your hours. But you end up working every day.
Yeah. That's another
thing. You end up working more. So that's also why, like, the risk of doing your own thing, you'll end up doing more. Because it's your own thing and it'll only benefit you.
But then you have more leverage. You can leverage that. Like, if that becomes a thing, like, you take all the upside, there's not like, and you take all the downside as well. So there is more risk but more reward at the same time. With the work, you can do really well, but you're going to get the limit of the upside.
Yeah.
But you can get all the downside, because not all the downside, but you can get the downside, and the bottom of the downside is you losing your job.
Yeah.
So it's not really worth it.
There was also this interesting thing that Elon Musk said in an interview, where he's like, being the owner of a company, you don't have the luxury of having the good job. Your job will always be the job where it's firefighting the situation.
Where no one wants to do it.
Your job is the only job to do that people don't want to do, because it's putting out fires, it's having difficult conversations, it's doing the horrible stuff, because that's what's required. So like, me and Charlie say this to each other all the time, because when you're doing the shit stuff all the time, it feels like, God, are we just running a shit company? Or like, it's like, no, because you're the last point of call that makes those decisions, and those decisions are never easy to make. But you're in the position where you have to make those decisions, all those choices. So it's like, I really resonated with that, because there is no luxury in running your own. There is a luxury, like, you are the boss at the end of the day, and you get to pick and choose what it is that you want to do, and it's all based on your decision making, and there's a lot of empowerment, that there's a lot of freedom in that. You know, the upside is that you'll gain only all the financial if it's doing well, or, you know, you're burdened with the risk of if it doesn't, then that falls on you and all the rest of it. But there's a really good reminder in that, is that, and I remind myself a lot, is undertaking that task is having to understand that the upsides are really high, downsides are really low. So it's just finding the medium in between. And I do that by trying to give myself as much time off as I can to be able to focus on things that I should be really focusing on, like the growth, the projection, the ideas, the creativity side of it. You know, at some point you'll want to be able to run a business where you'll get an MD to manage it. So then the responsibility of the day-to-day falls onto that, and you're only the person that's thinking about innovation and ideas, because that's what your time should be spent on, is growing it.
Yeah, the future of it,
Not having to worry about operations or things like that. And I would love to get to that point, but I think it takes fucking years. And a shit
Well,
time.
if that would be easy, everyone would do it. So.
Everyone would do it, and that's why I feel so guilty taking time off, because I'm like, I want to get to that point, but I also know how important it is. Otherwise you just burn out and die.
To your point, actually, because I was watching some videos on Jordan Peterson, and he said he basically was working with a lot of lawyers back in the day, and but the lawyers that reached the top of the pinnacle of like the pinnacle of the law firm, working with like crazy hours, like 14, 16 hours, just burning themselves out, and obviously they struggle to take time off because they work a lot, but then they started to kind of plan. So he was a therapist for them, and they started to plan days in a year to take the time off. So a couple of days off here and there, but then they came up with this concept of taking time off at least 4 times a year. So every 3 months. And over the course of the years, they tested their productivity again. And they noticed that they improved their productivity by like 10% by simply taking more time off. Because I feel like when you're taking time off, you create more space for what's gonna come, and you just kind of recharge your batteries a bit.
Yeah.
But whereas if you constantly working yourself to death, like it's not gonna work. It's not sustainable. It's good for like a short term, like, you don't know, with the monk modes and that, for like 30 days if you want to like push the pace really much, but then you have to take time off.
I think depending on certain projects that you have coming up, there's a certain time where you might need to push harder than other bits.
Yeah.
If you've got a hard quarter to make up for, or, you know, you want to try and get it all in before, you know, which quarter of the year. But yeah, I definitely think that having time off regularly, no, I don't just mean like time off, like I mean like complete silent time.
Yeah.
Like for your holidays or planned time off, do you have like a set thing that you like to do? Like, how do you really unwind?
I just do whatever comes. Like, I'm willing to experience as much as possible, do as much things as possible. So whenever I go on holiday, I'll always plan for something to do, like activities to do. But there are days where I just like, that's fuck all days.
I got no plan.
I don't really plan. I never really plan holidays. Like it's just whatever is gonna come is gonna come. Again, when we went to this camping trip with my girlfriend to Malholm Cove, what I said, like we went to like waterfalls and that. That was really fun because obviously we went to these waterfalls. We climbed this waterfall that was really kind of scary a bit. But I remember I came back from this and because we went there a day before in the late evening, so it was like 10 p.m. It started to get dark, and then we went to sleep straight away, and then we woke up. We had this whole day to hike the place, and we went to cafe, had a coffee, had a like burger, whatever, sandwich. We hiked, and then we came back to the car, and I just felt like after proper holiday, because it was just like so many new experiences and places to see, and it was amazing weather as well. And I came out, I was physically knackered, but mentally I was like, I'm feeling so good. So yeah, what was the question, by the way? I said something.
How do you take time off in terms of like?
Oh, if I plan anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to just go by the flow. Like I don't really plan anything, and my girlfriend does that for me. Like whatever, like that's the thing. Like whatever she wants to see, I'm good with it. Like I'm not like, oh, I don't want to see it. It's just, yeah, let's do it. Why not? I'm not picky. I just want to kind of experience whatever is coming. So yeah, that would be it. I guess we covered why take the time off, but I feel it's very interesting because you said you struggle to take time off to get to the very top, but I felt like I have to mention this because as I was doing the research, I came up this article that people, like these 3 people taking time off and what sort of time off they taken. So I thought if these people taking time off, like, you don't really have an excuse to not. So Reed Hastings, he's a CEO of Netflix, takes around 6 weeks a year, and says that the best ideas come while hiking in the mountains. Hiking in the mountains, you gain a different perspective. Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group, also takes long vacations and leaves his phone at home or in the hotel, opting for a pen, a notebook, and to relax his island during his vacation. Obviously, it's good to have an island, but
it's good.
but I mean, he's taking time off a lot. But like, and then this former managing director, Marissa Mayer, I think she was Yahoo former managing director. She takes a week off every 4 months to pace herself. Now, if you're working in a job, I understand it's hard to take a week off every 4 months or so, but just incorporating little things like, and prioritizing it. It's not like it, because we always prioritize going to the gym, eat healthy, work, doing our tasks, all that sort of stuff. But rest is kind of, it's nice to have. It's not like must to have. And once you start to prioritizing as a must to have, I feel that's when you kind of
what's really lovely as well is this is a big one, is having stuff to look forward to in your calendar.
So Tim Ferriss, I think he used to book holidays like 2-3 years in advance. So he's always looking forward to something.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Like when we booked that camping trip, that was a really...
mate, we booked it like 4 months in advance.
Yeah,
right? I'm just like looking forward.
But I'd like to do that every year, twice a year, 3 times a year, because then it's something to look forward to. And it's a time where it's like, okay, that's a time where I'm just going to chill and be with the homies and have a profound experience.
That was I was actually talking about it with Joe yesterday. It was just So funny, man.
Dude, Joe was so funny. Never seen. It's funny how different people react on different things.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was an amazing time. Unfortunately, the boba wasn't that good, but you know what? The company was amazing.
Next time we go, maybe we could go in October or November. To be fair,
I would be down, man. I would be really.
Because I got that 8-man tent.
Yeah, we need to sleep in one
To be
tent.
fair, we could actually just go to the same place.
Again.
Could be hilarious.
We could meet like in between London and Manchester, because it takes you guys to go there like 5 hours, which is a bit annoying.
I did that literally night, back the same day.
Yeah, that's it. And then I mean, if we could do somewhere, I don't know, what's in between, like a good spot.
Suffolk.
Yeah, probably. If they got any lakes or that,
Yeah,
we could get the kayak from Endrit.
We could kayak.
Yeah,
We
but
actually could.
yeah. So anyway,
It's something to look forward to.
that's it, man.
But no, it's really important because I remember it's also a really big motivator to work towards. I actually prefer. It's like the week. It's like the day before you fly or go on holiday is like the most exciting time.
I think I've read somewhere that anticipation of it and the first day is the very highest that you'll get from the holiday. From as soon as you arrive to the hotel, that's when it starts to go down.
Yeah.
Which is actually crazy.
So it's true. It feels when you say that, it really resonates because like it was the waking up to get to the airport.
Anticipation of it, yeah. I think going to the airport and waiting for my plane to go anywhere is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, me too.
I love being in airports.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit autistic though, but I love airports though.
Don't you though? There's no fucking rules in airports. You can do what you want. Like when I was in, what was it, fucking Luton, there was just some guy like in the middle of the hall with like,
sleeping, innit?
yeah, just no socks on, just chilling. It's like anywhere else, this just someone would get told him to like fuck off. But
Yeah.
for some reason in airports.
Imagine sleeping in a shopping center.
Yeah. Or like also like people drinking alcohol. Like it doesn't matter what time, people will get a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Like when before we went to Greece, we got to the airport at 3 in the morning.
What time was your plane?
Like 5.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because
I go there like 4 or 5 hours before.
yeah,
for my flight.
I think we were there like 2 hours before, and we were at the Weatherspoons. So I was like, I really want a breakfast. We were the only ones not drinking. Everyone was, and like people having glasses of like red wine. So fucking hell, like
I'm that type of person.
The only place that goes to Europe, so it's only like a couple hours different. You guys are sinking like wine and beer.
Weatherspoons in it.
Yeah, but like I was just like, how can you even stomach a pint at like 2 in the morning, 3? I suppose people can.
Oh wait, 2 in the morning. Okay, fair enough. But like, I feel it's the vibe, man.
Or like 4 in the morning, you know.
I feel it's the vibe. Like I remember we flew to Thailand with Joe very early as well, and we had a pint.
Yeah.
It's just like
I get it.
It's just
people just
anticipation of it, man. I feel like it's amazing.
the looking forward to getting somewhere. Like, but it doesn't matter where. Like anywhere, it's just feels good. I feel exactly the same way. And then because I'm like thinking about going away when I went away to Greece. I think maybe because it felt like a bit of like an uncertain time to go, I was like feeling not like I didn't want to go, but I also was like equally feeling like I was like, no, I really need this.
Yeah,
Because
I remember you
go past like that
because I remember you said, "Oh, I'm gonna do research in Greece." I was like, "Why? Like, man, just relax." But then you said, "It's something that I enjoy doing it."
Yeah, I enjoy doing it.
So fair enough. I was like, fair enough. If
I enjoy doing it, but then at the same time, I had no fucking internet signal to do it.
Well, that's good.
So maybe this is the universe way.
Yeah, there's a good sign, right?
To just like chill. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do something at the airport. And like, I was like, no, you're not.
You actually asked me a good question saying, what sort of, how many days a year would you like to take like time off. What about yourself? I didn't ask that back.
If I was thinking about the most optimum time, it's the same as you. I think having the freedom of choice to take any time off that I want. If I could earn enough money where it was covering my expenses for work that I wasn't doing, it was more like in the sense of earning whilst not working. I think that's the ultimate passive. But doing meaningful work, I would like to, like, even if you were just doing a good week's worth of work of meaningful work. That's the difference. It's like, are you working for someone because you have to, or are you working on something that you're really passionate about? And I think by doing that is like taking those dives, taking those risks into the things that you really want to do, and not living towards a conventional, like, oh, I have to be in this job for a I think everyone's situation's different, but if you are in a job that you don't like and you're earning a salary and you want to do something else, try it, even if it's part-time, and then see if it will. Because that's how I did it with DOSMAS. Like, I didn't just jump in straight away, or like even with the podcast, like I'd be stupid to drop everything now and do this straight away, because it's like, it's not going to earn money because it takes time. Let's say 2 years down the line we start earning a
little bit,
then I can be like, cool, now I can start reducing my hours doing this and start doing that.
Absolutely.
Finding a balance with it. I think that's how it grows healthy. But just being in control of my own life and being able to take the time off. But I would love to be able to just to take off, 2 weeks, 3 weeks here and there, 1 week here and there. If I could take a month off, I can, but also like doing work whilst taking that time off.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, it's just the freedom of choice and the freedom of
like working in Thailand as well as being there. Like that feels like time off and working all in the same space.
It was, in a way, like I was working a lot, but at the same time I was really enjoying it. Like, I was like, this is amazing. I'm in Thailand and I just can just enjoy it. Like, literally I can leave my apartment for a couple of minutes, not a couple, like 10 minutes, go to the beach, just come back. Like, it's just, it was so good, man.
And that's something you would want to do, like, for the rest of... I think that's something I would want to do more of now. Not being tied so much.
That's it, not being tied to one place. I don't think I like that.
Yeah, because, like...
Well, my girlfriend's not going to like watching that back.
But then it's also hard because, like, I don't know, even speaking to my partner now...
She wants to settle down.
She wants kids. Dog, house.
Yeah. Mine too.
And I'm like, fuck. I want to be a digital nomad.
I want to wear the fucking, them Chiang Mai trousers that you just walk with the elephants. That's what I want. Ain't wanting any kids.
Fuck. No, I would love children. I would.
No, I love children.
But I was like, maybe I could. We could take them with us.
Travel. Well, Dan is traveling with his kids as well, with his kid.
That's fucking crazy. I don't know how
but he's the type of person that travel with his kids.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do that though. I'd feel so.
No, I wouldn't like to do it, and
I don't want to be that fucking guy that has to like shush his child on an airplane.
No, I don't give a shit about it, to be honest. Like, honestly.
Really?
No.
Do you not?
I bought the ticket. I don't mind. Put your headphones in, innit? Like,
what if you don't like the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, obviously, I'm exaggerating.
What if you have a kid that just won't shut the fuck up?
It's little, little sleeping pill, innit?
Shut up.
No.
No, but that's the thing. It's
No, if you have a kid, like, that's it. It's harder to, like...
Oh, my God, yeah. That's also something I want. It's hard because
it's responsibilities. It's massive responsibility. You, like, raising another human being.
Then also, like, being in a position where you'd be able to be around to raise that child.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could have enough financial freedom and time.
I don't want to work 16 hours a day to then just go sleep and see my kid while he's sleeping.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
What's the point?
Then you'll be blamed for being a shitty dad.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll be blaming myself for being shitty dad because I was prioritizing sending a couple of emails instead of playing with my kid.
There was actually this one thing, which was really cool. Me and Charlie were working at this brewery, and we were doing an event, like just selling food there. And it was at the end of the day, and the owner of the brewery was there, and I went to go see him to say thank you very much for the opportunity. And as soon as I went up to him, I was like, I'm going to stop you there. He was like, I'll come see you in like 20 minutes, but my son is about to go to bed, and I just want to say goodbye to him before he goes to bed. I was like, you're a fucking legend.
That's it, man.
So cool.
He made it.
Yeah. And,
he made it, man.
And like, because his wife was there with the pram, she was obviously taking him back home. Because it was like this big event, so there was all friends and family and stuff there. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, you know, he's trying to make time. He's working, but he's also making time for what's
making time. That's it.
Because he could easily sit and talk about doing this again, and you know, talk business or whatever. But he was like, no, that can wait. You know, just say goodnight.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. It really stuck with me because I was like, I'd love to be in that position.
Yeah.
Where
you will be, man.
Yeah, for sure. One day. But where I'm not, I guess, just like in the. Because to me, that's what meaningful time off is being able to have it in moments like that. Either during the day, during the week, during the month, during the year, having consecutive time, being able to travel, being able to wear my Chiang Mai trousers. You know, I used to have so many pairs of those. And I used to get taken the piss out of so much.
Oh, mate,
would you have taken the piss out of me?
Yeah, I would. I've never bought them.
I have photos on Facebook.
I've never bought them.
Really?
I was just like, I'm not going to be that person that as soon as he jumps out of the fucking plane in Chiang Mai, he buys these trousers.
Let me show you, because it's fucking hilarious. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to get this on my. Why is Facebook now updating? Anyway, but literally in the moment, it's pretty much the moment I stepped off the plane, I bought a pair. Fucking elephants, everything. And I had like 4 pairs. That's all I wore.
Were they comfy though?
I kind of felt like a girl wearing them. Like a yoga girl. I don't know, but they were comfy.
Yeah.
Because you know it's human, it kind of sticks to you. Other than that, it was that and skinny jeans. It was like 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. But I look like a fool.
But yeah, anyway, man. That
makes a wrap.
That was a wrap.
Thank you so much for everyone who's got it this far into the podcast. Comment below ways in which you guys take time off.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear what's
you
your
guys
favorite
switch
way to take the time off.
Apart from that, see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.